To our regular viewers, welcome back. To our new viewers, you've happened upon DXB today and your life will change forever, we promise you that. I hope you're enjoying the show thus far. We're celebrating all things. We used to call it event season, but we're going a bit further tonight. It's performance season now. A lot of performances and a lot of performers coming to town. And we're trying to find out, well, why? Time now for us to turn our attention to our next guest, and who best to ask than somebody who has been responsible for bringing some of the biggest names in global entertainment to the Middle East and across the region, further afield for many, many years. It's welcome to the show. The co-founder and chief creative officer of MAC Global, Daniel Goldberg. Dan, good to see you as always. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Are we over-egging the pudding here a little bit? I know we're getting all a bit celebratory about, you know, all things performance, all things Dubai, etc. Talking about artists wanting to come to this part of the world. Is that what you're seeing?
I think artists have always wanted to come to this part of the world, but I think for different reasons now. I think the artists are routing through the region more intelligently. Before, they were just coming for a one-off show and to get a well-paid show. Now I think they're looking at the Middle East and our region and our country specifically as a gateway through to Asia, through to Australasia. And so they're looking as a stepping stone to other markets. And also the region is opening up. There's more countries in our region that are enabling concerts and performances, whether it's classical, whether it's jazz, whether it's pop, whether it's just DJs. So the region is opening up. Every country is open for business, and so it makes it more attractive to artists, I think. So I think that's why we're seeing a lot more of an influx of artists through here now, more so than the last 10 years. But it's been a long process.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one because we talk about this when we have, you know, the Dubai Operas and Coca-Cola Arenas in, but like, what goes into choosing the right act coming to Dubai? We've spoken about it so much. You're catering to a wide audience, so how do you pick the right artist?
I mean, it's a great question. I mean, but that's changed over the last 10 years because it's a very transient market. So you see the demographic and changing, and the people that come into our concerts now in this year, were in their teens, 10 years ago. So we're changing, we're catering to different musical tastes, evolving musical tastes, and also a different, socio-economic demographics, geographic demographics. So yeah, it's difficult. I mean, you kind of want to base it on demand, but it's a lot of gut feeling as well. It's a lot of looking at what's popular in the world, because people want to see what's popular in the charts. But we're moving more towards like cultural, classical, theatrical events where we're not so defined by genre and what's kind of hot at that particular moment. We've done a lot of firsts in the region. You mentioned before I came on, we did Ed Sheeran for the first time, Drake for the first time, Michael Bublé, and we're all about that. And it's only so many times you can bring them in such a short period of time before you kind of get burnt out.
Yeah.
So we're obviously always trying to look at what new genres, what's the next emerging artist, and trying to be ahead of the curve somewhat.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you tell us about your coming shows, like the most exciting for the next days or next weeks?
Sure.
Digging deep, straight in,
He's
Omar.
not saying, he's not
Great with
saying
the tricky
anything.
questions.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, two that we're very excited about. First of all, International Jazz Day, which is on April the 30th, and we're celebrating that. It's a UNESCO proclaimed initiative. They 2011 they announced International Jazz Day was going to be globally celebrated. So we're celebrating the 85th anniversary of Blue Note Jazz, the label, and it's also a very famous club in New York. So that's one thing we're very excited about. And I think it's a very important and under-celebrated genre. We brought Ronnie Scott's big band before to Dubai Opera in the past, which has always been a great show. Because Blue Note is such an internationally celebrated record label, the repertoire of John Coltrane and Miles Davis, it's such a wide-reaching. And also we're finding, talking of newer demographics and younger demographics, there is a new appreciation of jazz music from the younger demographic, and we're trying to sort of tap into that trend somewhat. So that's one thing we're very excited about. So we've got the band leader Pete Long, who's from Ronnie Scott's actually and from London, but he's bringing a whole host of international guests from New York to celebrate that. So very excited. It's always very well attended, and it's just a really nice event. So you'll hear a lot about the history of Blue Note. And that basically transcends the history of jazz, because as an 85-year-old label, it's pretty much, tells the story from beginning to end.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dan, you were talking about like the region and the culture, bringing the culture back in. So are we seeing a rise of local performances from this region coming up and performing to the audiences, not only here but worldwide as well?
Again, really good point. I mean, so the next show that we're very excited about is Andre Rieu, who's coming back on October the 18th for Etihad Arena. And Andre is, if you haven't seen Andre, he's an artist that you have to see once, at least, if not twice. I mean, we brought him last year, sold out show. We're bringing him again this year, and he makes a point of when he performs here, even though he's a Dutch artist, he makes a point of always collaborating with local artists. Yeah. And so last time he collaborated with a number of Emirati artists. I think it was an oud player we had last time, but we've performed with him in the region in Bahrain. He played with the local police band. So he's incredible. He really wants to collaborate and celebrate the country, the music and the culture of that specific country that he's visiting. So he's a good example of that.
That's an example of an artist collaborating with local police in the right way rather than the wrong way, isn't it? You know.
I also like the way that though that's changed. You know, I remember going to a Beyonce concert in Brighton in the UK, and she's like, "Hello London," and which is like 1 hour away. So it's such a vast difference to people actually wanting to come and collaborate to the local market, which is so important. Do you have any? Do you kind of push any of your artists to do things like that and saying like when you're coming to the UAE, like we'd love you to partner up, or is it just all off their own back?
Absolutely. I think it's really important to engage in the local market respectfully. I think to say you're in London when you're in Brighton is good lord. But so we always brief artists and their management and their tour management and give them sort of key facts. We had Sophie Ellis-Bextor, who went into a full-on rant about the history of Dubai and all the incredible landmarks, and we're like, is this a history lesson or a geography lesson or a pop show? So some people take it a little bit too far. She did it, but she's the daughter of a Blue Peter presenter, so she I think she had that inherent talent there. But yeah, I think it's important to brief them. We worked with Eminem recently when he came to Abu Dhabi, and there's a folklore about Eminem that there was a rumor that he was actually from the Middle East, and his alter ego was Salim Shadi. And so he actually played to that on stage and said, "Hey, I'm Eminem, and actually my name is Salim Shadi." And this massive urban myth got put to rest, and he actually sort of like addressed it personally. It became a viral kind of meme and viral clip. So yeah, it's very funny. So some people really get into it and engage. Yeah.
And just in terms of staging events at the moment and the trends that are developing at present. We saw Coldplay down in Abu Dhabi at the beginning of the year. First time we've sort of seen multiple nights back to back here over the course of a week, etc. Almost akin to a residency, albeit small residency. We're seeing more and more festivals coming to town, 1 day or 3 days as well. From an event organizer, from a promoter's point of view, what's trending at the moment? What's feasible to put on in this part of the world?
Yeah, I think we're actually getting to a point now where sometimes in the year, in terms of our event planning, it's looking too congested. Yeah. So we'll look at the event calendar of what other people are doing, what events, what venues, what cities, not just in the UAE, right, but the wider region, and it's getting too busy. And so we're actively avoiding whole periods of the year because we can't risk putting shows on at that time. So we're planning. So what it's good is that it's enabled us to plan a lot further, get to market a lot sooner with some of our shows, get on sale sooner, where traditionally we'd go on sale 2 weeks before when it would be fine, it would sell out. Now we can't do that. The market's congested, there's a lot of demand, but it's still a relatively small country. Yeah. Coldplay was an exception. I mean, there's not many artists like that can do 4 nights back to back, 5 nights back to back sold out. Incredible achievement, but that's great for the region because when we're booking artists now and we're speaking to any artist at any level, and they've been hesitant about coming to the region for whatever, then they've got no plans to come to the region, the fact that Coldplay is coming, the fact that Eminem's coming, all these huge artists have come. There's no real comeback to that now. You're missing out if you're not performing in the region now. Yeah.
So good. Well, listen, as I've been a concert goer of your artists for the last 15 years or something. So thank you for bringing them. Thank you for continuing to bring them. Don't know if you heard me say earlier, but Adele and Taylor Swift. If you want to, just okay, fine. Dan, thank you.
Not from lack of trying, believe me.
Yes, no, I know. Actually, I do actually know that. Dan, thanks so much. Listen, good luck as well for your coming up here, because I know it's going to be super, super busy. For now, though, I believe it is time to head over to Mather for DXB in 60.
That's right, Katie. So, Omar, I don't know if you know this, but we have a set of questions that you need to answer within 60 seconds.
They're about you, don't panic.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll know the answers.
It's all about you, just to get to know you better. So, are you ready?
Quick answer.
Quick answers.
Quick answer.
I'm
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's put the time on the screen. And 3, 2, 1, let's go. The best advice for anyone wanting to take up music professionally?
The Best advice. I never listen to any advice myself, so I'm very afraid to give advice. I pass.
That's fair.
All right, cool. A musical artist or composer person you would love to work with?
Oh, there are so many. Most of them are classical musicians. I would love to play once with Evgeny Kissin. He's a Russian pianist.
Thanks. Your favorite place to hang out in Dubai?
Oh, there are so many places. There a beach or restaurant, or for example, now the beach. The best place is the Mursi Al Arab. They have beaches there and pools, amazing with seawater and things. Amazing place.
Oh, beautiful. What do you do to stay inspired musically?
What inspired me in music is places, faces, situation, and feelings.
And lastly, why Dubai?
Why Dubai? I think that Dubai is the future, and Dubai is hope for all of us, all over the world. So that's why Dubai.
Beautiful.
Is that like the best soundbite we've ever had?
Yeah,
Ever?
clip that one.
Clip that.
Omar, bless you.
Music.
Thanks so much indeed.
Thank you so much.
All the best with the forthcoming event at the end of the year, is that right?
I'm going to play in April 29 at the Parliament of Italy in
Okay.
Roma.
And then back in Dubai at the end of the year, maybe?
In December.
December. Okay, we'll get you in before that.
Yeah.
Thanks for guest co-hosting.
Thank you
Really
so much.
appreciate it. Daniel, I know you're going to have a busy old season, so
Yes,
thank you so much
indeed.
indeed for
Thank
popping
you.
in. Great to see you
Thanks,
as
Tom.
always, and thanks for the extraordinary work that you're doing. The guys are going to go and compare notes in the green room as we're going to stick around. In fact, we've got some live music coming your way as part of performance season. Riri is going to be performing us and playing out live in just a few moments' time. Stay with us.